In this video session, we're going to organize quantitative data by using the graphs of what's called a dot plot and a stem and leaf plot. So let's go ahead and begin. The data that we're using is the student survey data from the early fall '09. Let's look at commute time. Okay, so we go graph, we go down to dot plot. Okay, we have some choices here. We're going to keep it simple. Hit OK. Okay, we go to commute time, C16. We select it. We have some options here. We're going to keep it simple. Hit OK. And we see the dot plot for commute time. And what's nice about a dot plot is the raw data is not grouped together. A histogram will take the data and group them into bins. So sometimes we lose some information by doing that, but a lot of times we can use a dot plot and we keep the original data. If we double click on the x-axis, just like with the histogram, we can change scaling and different options. So you can play around with that. That looks good. Now let's do another example. Let's look at the number of credits. So again, we go to graph, we go to dot plot, hit OK, and we change our graph variable to number of credits, C15. Select, hit OK, and we can see our graph for the number of credits. And we look down here, it says each symbol represents up to 2 characters. Okay, so each of these little dots could be up to 2, and sometimes Minitab does scrunch that. So normally if the data is discrete, a dot plot is a good way to summarize that data. Okay, now let's look at what's called a stem and leaf. So the way we do that is we go to graph, we go to stem and leaf. Let's look at commute time, select it, hit OK, and in the session window we see the stem and leaf. Now these numbers here are what we call the stem, and these numbers here to the right are called the leaf. Okay, and normally the stem is 10 times larger than the leaf. So if we look up here, we see that the leaf is equal to 1. So this 3 is 3 times 1. So that means 3 minutes. And these were 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. And then it jumps up to the next stem, which is 10 times that amount, which it would be 10 times 1 is 10. So these are 10 minutes. So all these are 10 minutes. And these would be 12 minutes, all these 15 minutes, so on and so forth. So just like with the dot plot, the stem and leaf is a way to summarize data, but what's nice is we keep the raw data, where a histogram would put them in bins. So we lose some information when we summarize using a histogram. Okay, so let's do another example. Again, we go to graph, we go to stem and leaf. We could also use the edit last dialog key, or what I call the hotkey. Let's look at the number of credits, hit OK, and again in the session window we have number of credits. Now this time when we look at the leaf is now 0.10, so that means the stems would be 10 times that amount. So this is 3 credits, and these are all the students that took 3 credits. This would be, there were no students taking 4 or 5 credits. These are your 6 credits. As we can see, we keep all the raw data, but we can sort of see the distribution. Okay, that concludes this video for a dot plot and stem and leaf plot.